Very good morning everyone. In our previous session we have completed topic duplicate content issues, controlling content with cookies and session IDs. In our today's session we are going to discuss content delivery and search spider control. But before starting our today's session, I would like to discuss certain points which we have already discussed in previous session regarding the duplicate content issues. In duplicate content issues, we have started with the point that duplicate content occurs using variety of reasons, like licensing issue is there, or you are going to copy the content which is already available on the others website, so piracy issue may be created, or you are designing some kind of site like which flows due to non SEO friendly CMS. So you need to design your website in such a way using SEO friendly CMS. So today the world is facing two common problems or issues. Number one, duplicate content issues, and number two, duplicate content penalties. We are going to discuss certain points regarding duplicate content issues. Number one, unique content. Generally the unique content is written by the humans or any persons, and the person is going to use letters or symbols or words on which is not available on the other website. Next is called snippets. Snippets is nothing but it is a small chunk or piece of information or content. Generally you are going to put quote inside the snippets, and remember one thing, that quotes can be copied or reused or reused from some other website, so it will not create problem for the search engine. When you are going to include this type of snippets in the website, generally it is included in the larger document with a plenty of unique content. That means if you are having thousands of pages which is developed under website and which contains unique content, but you are going to put some codes inside the website, it will not create problem for the search engine. Next is called singles. Singles is nothing but you are going to create some phrases which is a collection of 5 to 6 words. At that time, in the presence of the same segment, you are going to check in the other pages which is related with the website or which is available on the other website. So that is called singles. I am going to repeat the definition of singles once again. A single is a collection of 5 to 6 words, generally referred as a small phrases, and you are going to check that singles in the other parts of the website. So using singles you are able to check that this particular words are available on the website or not. If there are too many singles available on the web sorry, available on the website, at that at that time your website contains duplicate content. Next is called duplicate content filter. Duplicate content filter is generally applied by the search engine, and search engine generally removes all the content which contains similar piece of information within the website. So using this type of filter, search result provides a better overall user experience. And next point we have seen is duplicate content penalty. As we have discussed that search engine rarely gives the penalty for the duplicate content, but the pages which were found in as a duplicate content, it will automatically bind those pages, or we can say it will give the devaluation to those pages, so your page would not be there on the higher ranking. So as a penalty your website need to pay or we need to bind for certain pages. Next is called how search engine identifies duplicate content. So there are several facts using which search engine will find duplicate content. Number one, location of the duplicate content. Now this point refers that when you are going to put a duplicate content, it may be taken from the same website, or it may be taken from the different website. So it may be possible that if you have created one website which may contain similar pages inside website, or you have created certain kind of pages which is available in the others website. Next is called percentage of duplicate content. This is the ratio or percentage of duplicate content. How many percentage you have copied the content from the others website, that is referred by the percentage of duplicate content. Next is called ratio of code to text. Sometimes you have created a large website or your code is very huge. At that time you need to focus on the few unique HTML pages. So whenever you are going to create very large website, at that time you need to put certain kinds of text through which people can understand the content. Next is called ratio of navigation elements to unique content. This is the point in which you are going to have a huge navigation bar which contains lots of headers and footers, but you are having a little bit of content inside the page. So Google will think those pages as a duplicate content. And last is called licensed content. If you people are going to copy the content from others website and you want to purchase the license of the license from that web sources, and you want to show that license to your visitors, at that time you are able to avoid duplicate content problems. Next is called how to avoid duplicate content on your website. Using variety of reasons or using variety of scenarios, you can avoid the duplicate content in the website. One is called canonical tag. A canonical tag is nothing but it is a way using which you can tell the search engine that this particular URL is the master copy of your page. Using this type of way, you are able to prevent duplicate content problem. Next is called robot.txt file, which gives you the facility to restrict the crawler and tell the crawler not to crawl duplicate version of pages which are available in the website. Similarly, robots no index meta tag is there, using which again you tell the search engine not to index duplicate pages. Next is called how do search engine interpret cookies and session IDs. Remember one thing, that search engine will never interpret cookies and session ID, but there are variety of reasons why your website needs to have a cookies or session IDs in the program or in the website. So number one, when you want to use multiple navigation path, at that time you need to use cookies or session ID. Similarly, when you are having limited piece of page content, at that time also you need to have session or cookies. When you want to give the permission to the pages, like login page you want to put, right, and without login you are not able to access the pages which are available on the website. At that time also you need to maintain session ID and cookies. And last, when you want to avoid the problem of duplicate content issue, in this all cases you are able to use cookies or session IDs. So this is all about our previous session, which is related with the duplicate content issues, controlling content using cookies and session ID. Now let us begin with our today's session, that is content delivery and search spider control. Inside content delivery, first point is called clocking. Now see, what is clocking? Before discussing the following points, I would like to share one image with you so that from the image only you are able to understand the concept of clocking and you are able to write the given points. See over here, you are having certain kind of figure which contains the image of spider. Similarly, there is one person who is standing over here and there are two different pages. One is developed for the Google and other is developed for the human. So remember one thing, that clocking means what? When you want to create two pages, right? One behaves different for the spider and the same page behaves for different for the human. So when you are going to create two copies of one page, it is known as clocking. So it refers to the practice of presenting your content or URL to human user and the search engine. So the copy of your page would be different for both. One is for human or users and other is developed for the search engine. So it is considered as a violation of Google Webmaster Guideline. Why? Because it provides our users with different result than they expected. Sometimes it may be possible that you are going to show the content, one type of content to one people and other type of content to the other people. So representation should be different in both the cases. So when certain types of practices you are going to perform on the website like this, that you are going to develop one page to present for the human and one page for the search engine. So violation may be occur in such cases because result would be whatever the result is there, they would be unexpected. So study the potential benefit of clocking based practice. Look at the figure which illustrates the how clocking works. The following are some examples of websites that perform some level of clocking. See, here are the list of websites which represents the clocking, right? So in the google.com, when you are going to search for a Google toolbar, Google Translator, Google AdWords or any other number of other Google properties, and now not how the URL you see in the search result and the one you land on most never match. That means whatever the result you are going to type from the URL and when you are going to search it using search box would be always different. So this is the biggest example of clocking. I am going to repeat the definition of clocking once again. When you are going to use the concept of clocking, at that time whatever the pages you are going to show in front of user's eye would be different than you are going to show it to the search engine. So output would be unpredicted or unfavorable and it is also considered as a violation for the webmaster guideline. But here we have taken different examples of different websites and that website follows the concept of clocking. First of all, here is the list of the topmost search engine which is called Google. In the Google search engine, when you are going to type the word Google toolbar in the search box or you are going to type that particular website on the URL, it will never match. So output would be different in both the scenario. So this is the biggest example of clocking which applied on the google.com. Next website is called nytimes.com, that is related with the advertisements. So the request to login or create account after the 5 clicks and the archive attachment are showing different content to engine versus human. That means when you are going to visit the website nytimes.com, at that time you just need to perform 5 clicks to for the login, or you need to create an account for the nytimes.com. And when you are going to log in inside that particular website, at that time there are two types of content. One is for the person who is login inside the nytimes.com, and one is the result which is produced for the search engine. So you are finding two types of content, which is called content for the search engine and the other one is called humans. Next is called vine.com. So in this particular site, some redirection based on your path. There are a stats overlay forcing to select shipping location prior to see any prices. That means from the vine.com, if you want to purchase some product, at that time first of all you need to provide shipping location, then and then only you are able to see the price of particular product. So that's a form of the search engine, don't have to fill out. See, the same site, if search engine is going to refer, at that time this shipping information naturally search engine did not require to fill out. Next is called yelp.com. In the geo targeting through the cookies based on the location, it is a very popular form of local targeting that hundreds if not thousands of sites use. So yelp.com uses the cookies which is based on the location, and it is a popular form to target any local or other non-local websites. Next is called Trulia.com. Trulia was found to be doing some interesting redirects on the partner pages on and its own website, and here is the link we have available. So these 5 are the sites which represents clocking. I am going to repeat this point once again. Clocking is nothing but you are going to present your content or your URL in the for the human and for the search engine, and Google considers this particular clocking concept as a violation, but it contains its own benefit also, and we have listed certain example regarding the website. Say for example, if you are typing google.com, at that time you are having Google toolbar, Google translator, Google Advert keyword tools. This all are the functionalities which has been given by the Google. So when you are going to click google.com, at that time the whatever the content you are going to refer are totally different than you are going to type that particular link on the URL. Next is called nytimes.com. So this is a advertisement related site, but when you want to create any account or when you want to log in within the nytimes.com, at that time you need to perform 5 different clicks to perform particular operations, and which would be different, or it produces different content for the search engine as well as for the human. Next is called vine.com. If you want to purchase product from this particular website, at that time first of all you need to input shipping location detail and to see a price of any product which is available on any page. Next is called yelp.com. Generally it is geo-targeting based, which refers the cookies and to cookies for the particular location. And last is called trulia.com. In this particular website you are having interesting redirects on the partner of pages of its own website. Now how to display different content to the search engines and visitors. See, when you want to apply the concept of clocking, at that time how can it be possible to provide different content? One content is developed for the search engine and one is for the visitors. So a variety of strategy exists to segment content delivery. Segment means we are going to put a partition between the search engine as well as the visitors. So the most basic is to serve a content that is not meant for the search engine in unspiderable format. For example, placing text in images, flash files or other plugins. See, we lots of time in our previous video also we have discussed that crawler cannot identify the images, flash files or other plugins available in the market. So you can use certain kinds of images or flash files which cannot be accessed by the search engine. So this is the first way to deliver different content to the search engine as well as for the visitors. Now you should not use these formats for cloaking. You should only use it to improve the user experience. Remember one thing, that you cannot use certain types of images or flash files or plugins for the cloaking purpose, but if you want to improve the experience of user, at that time you can put it as a advantage. Now in such cases you may want to show the search engine the same content in the search spider readable format. Now when you are trying to show the search engine something you don't want to visitors, something you don't want your visitors to see, you can use CSS formatting style sheet, you can use JavaScript, cookies, session based delivery or perhaps IP delivery. So see, when you want to develop such kind of pages which cannot be visible by the visitors but can be visited by the search engine, at that time you can use the concept of CSS, you can apply different code regarding JavaScript, you can use cookies or sessions or any IP delivery based things you can apply for the visitors. Now second is called robot.txt file. Remember one thing, that over here we are going to discuss the points how to present the content which is available for the search engine are totally different for the visitors. So you can use robot.txt file. See, this is a very much important concept based on the theory. 5-mark question may ask in the exam. So be careful and listen this particular topic carefully. Robot.txt file, it is located at the root level of any domain. That means if you have created any website, at that time when you want to create robot.txt file, you need to put that file in the root level. That means suppose www.yourdomain.com which contains robot.txt file. So you can directly put robot.txt file inside the header location, or we can say at the root level of your website, and it is a highly useful tool for controlling the spider and permitted access on your website. You can use robot.txt file to prevent the crawler for accessing non-public parts of your website. See, using robot.txt file you are able to perform the following steps. Suppose you want to prevent your crawler to from accessing non-public part of your website, at that time with the help of robot.txt file you can prevent crawler. Similarly, block search engines from accessing index script, utilities or other types of code. So when you want to block any search engine for the indexing script, at that time also you can use robot.txt file. And next is called avoiding the indexation of duplicate content on the website. That means if your website contains duplicate content or duplicate pages, at that time you can avoid the duplication of content related with your website using robot.txt file. Now Google, Yahoo, Bing and Ask, all the search engine are nearly the valid crawlers on the web which will follow the instruction you set out in the robot.txt file. That means remember one thing, that robot.txt file is used to restrict the user as well as to restrict for the search engine. So whatever the instruction you have put it inside the robot.txt file, it will be followed by the all the search engines, right? So using robot.txt file, you are able to give commands to the search engine. So commands in the robot.txt are primarily used to prevent spiders from accessing pages and subfolders on the website, though they have other options as well. So when you are going to create robot.txt file, first of all you need to put it inside the root level of your domain. After that, there are several things which you can put inside robot.txt. Generally, when you want to prevent the crawler to access non-public parts of your website, such thing can be possible by mentioning into the robot.txt. Next is called block search engine from accessing index script, utilities and other types of code. And next is called avoid the indexation of duplicate content on a website. Suppose your website contains duplicate content as well as duplicate pages. At that time you need to avoid indexing those kind of pages. So all the three tasks has been possible using robot.txt file. Over here we have listed 4 different types of search engine using which you can set certain kinds of command which will be followed by all the types of search engine, and these instructions you need to write inside robot.txt files, and all the search engine will definitely follow the commands which are written inside the robot.txt file. Over here we have taken the image of robot.txt file which gives the illustration regarding the pages. Over here this is a search engine. Over here we have put a no, that means these particular pages are not accessible by the search engine, and similarly if it is not accessible by the search engine, definitely that pages are not accessible by the indexer, and if it is not indexed, say for example, at that time it is not accessed by the user. But yes, if it is accessed by the search engine index pages, it will be listed inside AC index. So each link would be indexed only if it is accessible by the search engine. The meta robot tags means what? The meta robot tag has 3 major components. Number 1 cache, number 2 index, and number 3 follow. So the cache component instructs the engine about whether it can keep the page in the engine's public index available via cached snapshot link in the results. See over here we have taken the image where this particular website is represented with the help of cached. Cached means what? We are going to instruct the search engine to keep the pages which is considered as a public index or not. So that thing we need to mention inside the meta robot tag. Next is called canonical tag. This tag we have already discussed. All the 3 search engine gives you the facility for the canonical tag. Generally it is a new construct designed explicitly for the purpose of identifying and dealing with the duplicate content. With the help of canonical tag, you are able to tell the search engine that this particular web page is a master copy of any page. So this is the syntax, or this is a tag using which you can write canonical tag. Less than, link, relay equals to canonical, and href. Inside that we have put the website URL. So canonical is nothing but it gives the master representation of your website. See over here how search engine look at a canonical take that image we have put it over here. Over here we have taken the image of search engine or crawler. We are having seomos.org, inside that we are having blog. So for the user, you are having some ID to access this particular page, right? But for the crawler or for the search engine, this is a master page. That means if search engine wants to refer this page, no need to perform login or no need to pass any reference. Now blocking and clocking by IP address range. Now see, when you want to block certain kinds of pages or when you want to block any robots, at that time you can crawl entire IP address first, and from the IP address you can restrict the search engine to not to crawl those pages, or you can block certain kinds of IP to restrict access, and you can save the bandwidth. Next is called using iframes. Iframes means what? See, when you are going to develop certain kind of code which contains the concept of iframe, at that time that content are not indexed by the crawler, because in our previous video also we have talked that crawler cannot identify the concept of iframe. So when you are going to use iframe, at that time that piece of information is not visible to the search engine. So that is the point. When you are going to use iframe, it cannot be identified or visible by the search engine. Next is called hiding text in images. Naturally, lots of time in our previous video we have discussed that when you want to hide some text in the image, at that time majority of search engine have limited capacity to read text in the image. So when you are going to create image and you are going to put text inside the image, it is not advisable for the search engine, because crawler cannot read certain kind of image. So when you are going to put text in the image, at that time it will not found by the crawler. Next point is called hiding text in the Java applet. That means when you are going to use Java applet in the program, at that time the again crawler cannot identify the content which you have put it inside the Java applet. So hiding the content inside applet, it is again not advisable. Next is called the forcing form submission. Again, when you have created certain kind of website which contains to submit particular form, as I have told you that login form, without login you are not able to move forward, right? So you are going to force form to the for the submission, right? So search engine will not submit HTML forms in attempt to access the information retrieved from a search or submission. Thus, if you keep content behind a forced form submission and never link to it externally, your content will remain out of the search engine. Remember one thing, that over here we are going to discuss the points using which you can remain out of the reach of search engine, or you are going to develop certain such kind of website through which search engine are not able to access your website, right? So you are trying to create certain kind of website in which search engine cannot access content of your website. So this point you can keep, that forcing form submission, that means you can create certain kinds of website in which compulsory you need to submit some form, then only you are able to see the content which is available behind the form. So naturally search engine cannot submit certain kinds of form. Next is called using login or password protection. Again, if your website contains a code like CAPTCHA, right? So human can easily perform verifications regarding the CAPTCHA code, but search engine cannot refer the code which is applied for the password protection. So you can also use password protection or login protection just like CAPTCHA code. The major engine won't try to guess password or bypass these particular systems. And last is called removing URLs from the search engine index. So when you are going to remove the URL from the search engine index pages, again if indexing is not performed on your page, naturally that page cannot be accessed by the search engine. So Google allows you to remove URL through the Webmaster Central, and Microsoft Bing search engine allows you for the this type of support very soon. So this is all about our today's session. In sorry, in our next session we are going to study redirects, content management system issues. This all point we are going to study in the next session. This is more than enough for our today's session. Thank you all.